Autocannon. It was once the golden standard for support weapons, and these days, it's still pretty good for the bugs, bots, and even squids. I will compare it to the Helldivers 1 variant just for fun, but also go over what it does in Helldivers 2 pretty extensively. Anywho, let's go ahead and begin. The autocannon basics are you have two firing modes. The first and original is AFIT. You're shooting a pretty powerful round that deals good damage, good durable damage, can stagger enemies of the larger variety, and penetrates heavy armor. The second mode is flak. You deal less damage, less durable damage, it explodes in proximity to enemies, and it deals medium pin damage on the explosion, and medium pin on the shrapnel it sends out once it explodes. Its utility is also quite potent, destroying bug nests, breaking bot fabricators, and taking out the unshielded dropships, or the ground ships for Illuminate, in a single shot. And because it fires so straight, you can do that from virtually any distance if you have an angle on said spawners. You can also take out all the basic objectives. For bugs, that'd be Spore Spewer, Shrieker Hotels, and around 5 shots each. And for bots, the mortar emplacements from the front, the bunker turrets from the front, 3 shots. From the back, 2 shots. It's particularly powerful on the automaton bioprocessors, taking them out in roughly 5 flak mode shots, which compared to many other weapons is kind of nuts. Demolish fences and break open the gamba crates, so we can all farm super crates, guys, and the money you save farming those can be spent at outwestseams.com on some OhDough merch or random custom embroidered hats. Hashtag not sponsored. It's my brother's business. I do not get paid for the foreseeable future. Only the deep state knows why backpack support weapons have stationary reloads, but the autocannon is no exception. You reload using clips that have 5 rounds each, and you can only put ammo into the gun if you're missing at least 5 rounds. And ideally, you want to reload if you're missing no more than 9 rounds, because if you have nothing left, this gives you a longer stationary reload than usual that you can cancel after the first stage, ideally by pressing the crouch button once you see ammo in the magazine pop up. You also have 10 spare clips in your backpack. In Helldivers 1, it was called the Dum Dum. Didn't have a backpack. You could use the jump backpack, anything you wanted to, and combo it there. So imagine using the warp backpack in Helldivers 2 as an example. It had roughly 20 rounds as opposed to the 10, and it still maintained a stationary reload. But you had 6 spare reloads in total. So I believe if my math is correct, it's 120 rounds. It was slow to aim, especially if enemies were behind you. It would take a year and some Sundays to turn around completely and begin shooting at them. But apparently there's a melee tech to make that much faster. I'm just not too privy to it. Anywho, let's go ahead and move on to the bugs. Chaff units, you can go flak, you can go AFIT, they all get smoked. Ideally, you want to use the flak mode on Wilburs, the orange scavengers, pouncers, and hunters, and of course, shriekers. If they're flying in a patrol, that's the best time to shoot at them in flak mode. If they're spread out, not as ideal, and it can go great if you have a bunch of warriors or a bunch of hive guard, but if you don't, it takes more shots. For instance, if you have 2 hive guards that aren't that close to each other, you're better off going AFIT and shooting them both in the face because it one-shots them. For the stalkers, 2 shots in AFIT mode, and on Alpha Commanders, it's a 1-shot, which is freaking amazing. There's no proper way to say this. You can even blow their head from the back if you hit the shot properly, which is helpful if they're running away. If you're facing bow spears and nursing spears, aim for their body. 2 shots, they explode, dealing damage to anything near them, and that includes other spears, triggering a chain reaction. And if you are facing the bow spear seed, where you have the spitters and the bow warriors, flak mode can be a bit better than usual just because they also trigger explosions, giving you even more damage dealt to anything in that vicinity. And if you're against spore bugs, good luck. The Pred Strain, you'll be I wouldn't recommend it. Chargers, you want to go for the wagon. And in doing so, you'll stagger it each shot, so you have time to line up your next one and aim for the bottom flesh. If you hit the top armor, you'll deal less damage and take longer to blow it off. Once it's taken off, they bleed out, all is well and dandy. On Charger Behemoths, you really want to go this method, because the legs take 7 shots to break and strip, and then more to kill it. I think in total it'll be 10 rounds, if not more than that. And for the head, it's something around 15 shots. If you're on regular chargers, you can get away with a bit more, and going for the head wouldn't be a terrible idea just because the legs do tend to fold under. So it just depends on how much time you have and how consistent you can be in hitting your shots after staggering it, which each one. On the elites, Titans, 10 shots to the face. That's the main breakpoint I care about. If they're already weak to other stuff, it'll be less. If you're on the Spore Titans, I believe it'd be ultimatum shot, 2 or 3 shots. The Impalers, you go for the smooth spot. Their tentacles are in the ground. You hit that smooth place right next to the purple. It's 3 rounds. They're dead in affit mode for all these bigger enemies. And if you need to, you get close, have it go on its back legs, try and jump on you or stomp you, shoot its mouth. Hit that 3 times, it's also dead. In Helldivers 1, you could one-shot everything on the bug front except the Charger, Charger Behemoth, and Impaler equivalents. Also, Brood Commanders. Those things took 4 to 5 shots apiece. You had no way of damaging the armor on the Charger, Charger Behemoth, and Impalers. Instead, you could only kill the Impaler and Charger through their flesh spots. So honestly, the same time to kill strat was just going for the wagon in both games, oddly enough. There was a time where the autocannon couldn't damage the armor on a Bile Titan or Charger, and I suggested to allow it to do that, and folks told me that's ridiculous and overpowered and broken. The devs make the change, and guess what? It's not any of those things. And to this day, not many folks use it for that purpose because it's an investment. So I have a new change. What if we remove the backpack on the autocannon, keeping it mostly as is, and just see what happens? When fighting automatons, use your flak mode if you ever see a bunch of Billy Bobs or troopers grouped up pretty much anywhere. The same applies to dropships. We call those clown car congregations. If they're not grouped up, your primary is a better option. For Devastators, it's kind of the same, although they're tankier, so it's a bit more ammo investment. Affit mode is more ideal to sort of kill the ones that are close to you. It takes 2 shots to any Berserker or Devastator's main torso. It's a 1 shot if you land a headshot, but if you can do that, just use your primary, dog. Scout Strider and Rocket Strider. Flak mode works, but Affit is a guaranteed 1 tap to the Jondals crotch area for both of these units. Gunship, 2 shots to the engine takes it out of the sky. Hulks, 2 shots to the visor, and the first shot staggers, so be aware of that, and it will behoove you to get good at landing the second during the stagger animation or quickly afterwards for a more precise and consistent kill. If it's turned away from you and you're hitting it from the back, use flak mode, and it can sometimes one-shot the heatsink. For Warstriders, always attack the joint in affit mode. Going for anything else, in my experience, was kind of awful. Factor Striders, 2 shots affit mode take out the freaking minigun, the chinny guns, if you will. Undercarriage, I believe it's around 10 shots, just hitting a single side door. It also takes 4 shots to an already exposed side panel. Tanks and tank towers, 3 shots to the heatsink is a done deal. For Barrager, it's going to be 3 to 4 shots, I believe, against the missile silo. In Helldivers 1, Dum Dum could one-tap the majority of cyborg units, but you had a few downsides. Stationary reload, stationary firing, and very slow turn radius. When you're facing hounds, dogs that chase after you, and if they hit you once, it didn't feel very good. It was quite painful, and they'd already be close to you to turn back and hit you again. If you're facing or seeing butchers, those things spawned in pairs of 2, and they took 5 to 6 rounds. Hulks, if you let them fire at you first, you could kill them in 4 shots. If you shot too quick or too soon, they would just shield it. And Autocannon didn't have anti-tank rounds, which also meant you couldn't damage warlords at all from what I can tell, and you couldn't damage tanks themselves. Illuminate with the autocannon was a downright despicable experience. It just didn't feel enjoyable, and there was only 3 exceptions where the weapon itself felt powerful and justified. That'd be flesh mobs, meat mobs taking 3 shots from flak mode to be killed, 2 if you're lucky, and stingrays getting shot down in 2 flak mode shots, as well as the Snitchbot 9000 getting one-tapped in affit mode. On everything else, it feels weak, and it also feels slow. Voteless, you can kill them with flak mode. That's cool and dandy and whatnot, but they don't really sit there holding their homies' hands all that often. They usually go for a single file line or a dispersed Dorito tactic. Flak mode's not great into the dispersed Dorito. Fun fact. Overseers can tank 4 flak mode shots, 3 affit rounds. Those guys should go fly a kite in space. That's actually what they'd probably do in their spare time. It's ridiculous. Like, that is so much ammo investment. And flak mode into a group of 5, which they tend to spawn in patrols of 5, which is super good. They just don't care. Like, they ignore it. Harvesters. You can break the shield kind of fast. I think flak mode may actually be a quicker thing to use. I never tried that. You can destroy the horn in 2 rounds, and the shield is just gone now, forever. And it takes you 4 shots to the hip joint to kill him, which is the same investment as an AMR. That has a scope, no stationary reload, and no backpack necessary or needed. Obtruders, the Snitchbot 9000's cousins, get shredded by flak mode consistently enough, which is nice, but for Gondoliers, I'm not aware of any breakpoints that are truly impressive. The exception, I suppose, is on the unshielded pilot using flak mode, but in that situation, many weapons kill that pilot very quickly to the point in which it's hard to justify taking a support weapon of the autocannon's caliber and getting such little value. And for Moz Masses, you have a bunch of flesh mobs that you can kill quickly. That's if you're in flak mode and you're ignoring, or most people will ignore, how Volos will be blocking those flak mode shots constantly. And you could have a gargantuan grip of these Squillium Cyclops harvesters that are beaming at you. In those situations, though, it wouldn't be a terrible idea to go flak mode and break their shields so fast your teammates can then take them out. So for the team play aspect, you can still do stuff. You can always do stuff and make things that aren't great on their own better, but this is still a backpack support weapon that I feel is very lackluster against Illuminate as a whole, the main faction and both sub-factions. In Helldivers 1, you could one-tap all of the non-shielded Illuminate enemies. For example, Hunter, Observer, Apprentice, Outcast, and some that had shields took one shot to break it and then one shot to kill them. Obsidian was Observer, Watcher, and Strider, and even the Harvester equivalent being Tripods. Now the ones that took a bit more to kill would be Obelisk. Multiple shots to the shield. Once the shield's gone though, it was one shot to the floaty eyeball thing. Council member, many shots to break the shield, and a few to kill them once it's gone, and I believe the same also applied to Illusionist. In conclusion, Autocannon is a good weapon, and compared to Helldivers 1, it's better against the bots and bugs, but pretty horrible against the squids. Dum Dum kind of dunked on it in that regard. I will say, it could still use a little bit more, mostly in reference to its ability to handle single targets. So my solution is removing the backpack and keeping it mostly the same. You could maybe buff damage so it one-shots Hulks, but if you do that, remove stagger. And in that way, the quality of life shoots up something serious. You can do jump pack, hover pack, any backpack with the autocannon. Now, if you remove the backpack, you then have the option to add a better autocannon with a backpack. Because as far as the ammo goes, autocannon support weapon is 20mm. I think mech suit is 30mm, and then your sentry is 40mm. We could potentially get a 30mm backpack autocannon. That'd be nuts. It's obviously easier said than done considering the models have to change no matter what. If you remove the backpack, where's the ammo coming from? You can't just have it go from an invisible backpack. If you increase the damage and make it go to a higher caliber, it'll then change the shells and the ammo loading and all that good stuff. But I'm just saying, this could be awesome. Maybe the answer is to just give the Dum Dum from Helldivers 1, make that what autocannon is currently for the most part, and then turn the current autocannon into a more of a monster. Make it shoot bigger rounds, increase the housing for the ammo, the size of the clips in terms of like each individual round. But that takes time. So I'm not expecting any of this stuff anytime soon. It's just some food for thought. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, let me know down below. And I'll go ahead and work on, I think, I'm actually not sure what next. I make these videos if I really feel inspired to, and it takes a long time, so we'll see what goes down in the future. If you want gameplay stuff, it's all on my second channel. It's where it's all being put these days. And y'all have a good day. I'm going to go to the gym. It is chest, shoulders, and triceps. Show me a good day. Enjoy yours as well.